Okay, YouTube, I just run into another problem with my cables. This one's fine, this one's fine. Well, it's a little bit warmer. This one's really hot. This is extremely hot. Extremely hot here on the negative side. This cable here is really, really hot. This cable is fine. And that goes straight into my charge controller. The inverter's fine, everything else is fine. Yeah, that's the amps of what the solar panels are coming. That's going into this DC breaker, double throw, and yeah, it's just extremely hot. So I'm gonna have to go down the shops and then replace both these cables. Probably a 6mm diameter cable, because that's what the DC solar cables are. They're a 6mm, so I'll just go 6mm straight into there. Same with these, they're 6mm. Every other cable's fine. Yeah, so I'm going to replace these eventually and put some bus bars in when I can get the money together. And of course eventually I'll redo all this and eventually get charge controllers and all that. Today I've cleaned up the terminals so they're not so bad. Did all them. And I've rotated the batteries around, so this was the newest battery, so I left that where it is, and I've rotated these two batteries around. As I said, I cleaned up the terminals with this type of one. I've tried some other ones and I just couldn't get in there properly with the terminals that I got. The other thing I did do a couple days ago was I replaced the terminals here, the quick connects. I felt they were really warm, and I soldered them this time, and crimped them and soldered them on both ends. So now that's all nice. So basically taking this off to let it cool down for a little bit. I mean, it still feels a little bit warm. These are the bits that were on there, and they don't look, well, I can't remember which one's which because they're really cool now, but I think this one looked a little bit more dirtier on this end. So yeah. So what I'm going to do is, because I couldn't get the red in the DC solar cable, so I bought some heat shrink, and I'm just going to cut these up and then put some heat shrink over it to make it a little bit easier. Even with these I couldn't. And I think these ones were the car audio and they were an 8. So a little bit different, but different cable as well. And there's the silicone on the outside where this is double insulated. Actually might give this a bit more length this time. So I don't have a heat gun, so basically you just use a lighter. You can't leave them on too long. see I disconnected the quick connect cable outside, and I still got all my other system running. Charge controller's still going, but just not the solar part. I mean, this cable is a little bit thicker. It's an 8mm cable. That's the only thing that's slightly different between the two. Probably end up changing it so all the wires are basically the same except for the low stuff like car stereo and the stuff that goes in the house. That'll be the only difference between them. Basically try and keep all the cables the same. I should have done the negative slightly more, but I like to try and keep them all the same length. So I plugged in the DC side, the quick connects out there, and then I'm going to throw the DC circuit breaker, and then I'll eventually come back today and then feel it, see if that's actually worked, because if that hasn't actually worked, then I'm going to have to probably replace this. Later on in the day now, and that's what the degrees is inside and outside the house, and that's what time it is. And it still feels a little bit warm, like warm to the touch. Cable here is fine, sort of thing. Like a little bit tiny bit of warmth. Batteries are completely full. That's how much the charge controller. That's how much is letting through. How much I'm using at the moment. That's how much I'm using at the moment. Doesn't seem to be enough wind to bring in. So the cable that I brought is, see, it's a PV cable. It's a 6mm PV cable. So you don't really need it for inside. I'm just trying to keep things relatively the same until I upgrade all the cables. Probably go like beef up all the cables, beef up the battery cables and all that, but for the time being I'm just going to have to keep doing it this way until something breaks down or something like that. Because money is a real issue at the moment. So 250 watts, reducing more than that. I can run up to like 350. There is more content to come, so like it, hate it, subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. I'll catch you all on the next one. Thanks and bye.